Welcome to Vapid. This is the first ever video episode. This is insane. My skin is super oily. So if you guys have recommendations for the T-zone, let me know. But a few things, like this week's guest was Victor Mariachi. He is amazing. He's a rapper. He's amazing. Like I really enjoyed talking to him. But there's two things I want to talk about in this intro. One is I want to address something that I said in last week's episode, which is that I would rather hang myself than check myself into psychological or behavioral health treatment at DeKalb Medical Center. And I want to say, one, I stand by that. I was talking about my own experience with mental illness. I was talking about my own preferences. I didn't mean to offend or trigger anybody. But I've just heard horror stories about that particular place. If you're in a dark place and you need treatment, seek whatever treatment you feel that you need. But when I said I would rather hang myself, I was saying I'd rather hang myself than go to that particular place. Not I'd rather hang myself than get help. So there's that. The other thing is I got very attached to a turtle that I found in my backyard. And I was keeping it in a pan, in an aluminum pan with leaves and water, with the intentions of keeping it. But my husband and I made the decision to set it free. And since then, I've been dealing with some separation anxiety. I feel that he has too, because I look out the window or I'll go outside and he's searching in the backyard for the turtle. And it's giving very much Tony Soprano in the first episode, where the ducks are in his pool and he gets really emotionally attached to the ducks and the ducks fly away. And he starts having panic attacks, and that's what lands him in therapy. If you watch the show, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen the show, you have no idea. But I missed that turtle. I had named it Shell. It has like a quadruple meaning. One is Shell. Before I could fully talk, I called myself Shell. My dear friend Paul, who passed away, called me Shell. Shel Silverstein is one of my favorite writers, and then turtles have shells. So wherever that turtle is, I miss him. But this is the episode. First video episode ever. The set won't. I wish I could give you guys a full panoramic view of the set. It's coming together, but I wanted to be fuck it, and just give y'all I need to stop cursing on here because y'all be mad about that too. But just give y'all a quick glimpse into what's to come, because it's going to be video and audio. I also want to shout out my videographer, my engineer, my husband, myself, all my guests, and all of you, and encourage you. You know, I say it at the beginning and at the end, but stay on top of your mental health. Don't take any wooden nickels. Here's the show. Victor Mariachi.
We're supposed to be in a mid conversation.
So you got the Raekwon book, so that I'm assuming you like Wu-Tang.
That's my that's my favorite rap group. I grew up listening to them a lot. So, but Raekwon specifically, because I don't know, I just like his style, like the way he raps.
My favorite is Ghostface.
Ghostface?
Maybe Tony.
Yeah. Him, both of them together are amazing.
Yeah. Do you watch the show?
Which one?
There's a show on Hulu.
I don't think I've seen it.
It's It's like a their origin story, like
Oh,
Dave
oh
East.
no,
For
I didn't
some reason,
want
is
to.
playing with him
No,
in.
I couldn't watch it.
Yeah, I tried to watch one episode like during like lockdown, and I was like,
I don't know. It bothers me when like you could have had actors that look more like them, but I don't know if they chose not to, or it was just like there's always intricacies with like oh this person can't because of this and that, but like I don't know, like they could have chose better actors in my opinion.
it just seems like I feel like better actors that look more like them. And then were they just like picking? Is Joey Badass from New York?
Yeah,
Before I say what I'm about to
yes,
say,
he is. He is.
so they were just picking people from New York,
Because
basically.
they had Dave East, they had
I which I don't, I'll never understand that. I'll never forgive the casting director for that.
Dave East has Method Man.
I don't like
I
that.
kind of see it, but I don't know.
I don't. I don't see it at all.
Yeah.
So, where are you from, and who else did you grow up on?
I'm my parents are Mexican, so they came. They immigrated like in the '80s, and my parents they met in they met in Phoenix where I was born, and
Hmm.
then we moved to Georgia like in the early 2000s. But yeah, all of my family's Mexican. That's our background, our heritage.
Right. So, were you influenced like equally by like that culture and hip hop, or what? Because I
Uh,
remember when I first saw you perform, I was like, I told you you're like Rage Against the Machine and Kendrick Lamar.
you said no. You said Rage Against the Machine and Currency.
And Currency,
Yeah,
yes, yes, I knew it was something because that's what it was giving.
yeah.
That's just what it was giving.
Yeah, that was a weird. I've never heard that before. I've heard like other rappers. I mean, not to big myself up, but like I've heard like, oh, you remind me of like a Mexican Nas or like something like. But I've never heard Currency, Rage Against the Machine. That was the first. I was like, wow, I've never. No,
That's what it reminded me of. But I mean, are you influenced by either of them, or?
I like Rage Against the Machine is like a major influence. Currency. I like Currency. I like how some of his stuff. I can't say I'm the biggest fan, but I do like his music a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like as far as like my culture within hip hop, I feel like there was a time period where when I was a kid, like hip hop just completely abducted me, and I did not relate to anything Mexican or my heritage. I was just like consumed by the art, by the genre. So when I was living in Phoenix, there's not a lot of like the black culture is not prominent there. Like there's not. It's mostly
Mm-hmm.
white and Hispanic or Latino in Phoenix. But when you move here, it's a whole different spectrum of people. There's more variety. But I've always been into art, so when I got here and I saw that rap was like a big thing in hip hop, it just I don't know. I fell in love with the music. And then I had an older friend who was in high school during the time, and I was in middle school. His name is Solomon. Shout out to my homie, to my brother. But he's the one that kind of put me on like you gotta listen to Big Pun, Lil Wayne, Outkast, and I was just like fascinated by the culture and just poetry and stuff. So it was that for a minute, and then as I got older, I started kind of to like break out of my shell and try to find out about myself, my heritage, and where I come from, and I started incorporating that in the music. But it took me a while because I was like so much involved in hip hop and just the art of it all. So
Yeah. And sometimes when you're a teenager, you kind of like, I know for me, I don't want to like tell, I don't know if this is what it was for you, but for me, when I was a teenager, I was very much like, I'm not fucking interested in my culture. Like, I don't care. Like, because my parents are from Louisiana, or both my parents are from the deep south. My mom moved to Louisiana when she was like middle school age, but Louisiana has its own culture, like its own thing. And I just kind of was like, no, like I want to do my own thing. But late teens, like early 20s, I got like more immersed in that and saw like that as such a beautiful thing. And that's such a part of like who I am now. Like
right.
when my videographer like walked in here, she was like, it looks like a voodoo shop in here.
You have
Like,
some Mexican elements in there. I was looking at the cross. We have the candle too. We
yeah.
that's what I was like kind of, and then
Yeah.
the color palette too. You have the pink with the yellow. I was like,
Yeah. So I'm my dad is like, okay, Louisiana is a strange place. So it's like when I say my dad is like Afro Indigenous, it's not like we like, I don't know a lot about that side,
Mm-hmm.
because Louisiana culture is kind of like a mixture,
Right.
but I do have that in me, so it does come out in like my taste and like decor or
Hmm.
like the way I dress. Like I always wear a cross.
Yeah.
A lot of my tattoos, like it comes out.
Right.
And people, my Hispanic people I encounter tend to point that out. So yeah,
No. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool though.
it's funny.
What part? So you're
Um,
are they? What country are they from? Or your family?
what country is my? Well,
Like
I'm black, so I don't know what country my family's
no, but
from.
the you say you do have.
Oh yeah, so my dad is part Mexican, and then he's like, I guess what you would call Creole.
Mm.
And then my mom is just like a black
You don't know what part of
American
Mexico?
black. No, because the story, and I don't know if this is like family folklore or this is true or not.
It's typically, it has. You
You have
have.
to
But
have it.
yeah, like the story is that he was like a desperado, like he was like a real like cowboy outlaw,
Damn.
and he was like run out of his town, and he like went first through Texas and came up through Texas into Louisiana, which is where he met my that would be my great grandmother.
Mm.
And then he basically like lived his life like as a black man. Like he was like on the run, so
Mm.
he didn't really, like my dad doesn't speak Spanish or anything,
Mm.
but it's like so
That bloodline, though.
intrinsic, I guess, because all of us are like my brother has a tattoo that says
Oh
Desperado.
wow.
My other brother's really into Latin music, like you said, like the way that this space is decorated. And then too, like Louisiana used to be a Spanish colony. So it's
Mm.
like it would just naturally have those things,
That's
you
cool.
know?
Yeah. So
But who else? You said Rage. I love Rage Against the
yeah,
Machine.
I think.
All their three albums are perfect. Like if I think about like who had a perfect trajectory as far as like music, it would be Kendrick, Rage Against the Machine. Who else had like really good albums? Uh, D'Angelo has good albums. Voodoo,
Oh
Black
my
Messiah.
God. Voodoo is so, oh my
That's
God.
my favorite album, probably. I can't stop listening to that album.
That's one of, wait, you got it, because that's one of my later
Oh, okay,
questions
okay.
is like your favorite. Well, I guess we can get into favorite albums now.
Oh, okay.
But, okay, so Voodoo by D'Angelo.
Voodoo by D'Angelo is top.
My top number one. I don't think I've listened to an album besides Nirvana's Nevermind, just because I was late into rock, so I know that's like a typical answer on Nirvana. But it's like I listened to so much rap that it took me a while to get to other
Hmm.
genres. So I was late. I was like in my mid 20s, like listening to White Stripes and like Rage and Nirvana. So, but I would put that there. But Voodoo by D'Angelo is probably like I don't know. There's something about that
That's
album.
a perfect album. Send It On is one of my favorite
Yeah,
songs.
I like. Yeah,
Um,
good album. That's a good song.
I I don't think Nirvana is a generic answer because if you had asked me when I was like 16, I'd be like, "Oh my God, that's so generic. You're such a poser."
Yeah.
But I don't think that's a generic answer now. Like my husband and I were talking about Kurt Cobain yesterday because he watched some documentary, and he's like, "I don't know. I think he was murdered." And I was like,
Mm.
"No, I'm pretty sure he
Yeah.
just."
Yeah, no, he was. It's always the troubled artist that creates some of the best art. But I think it's yeah, he just had a lot of things probably bothering him. But yeah, Nirvana. The thing is, like, I personally get upset when people like say stuff about art that happened back. Like they're like, oh, that's so overplayed, it's overrated. But it's like you're
Mhm.
judging it in hindsight. You know what I'm saying? Like you're
Yeah.
judging it 20 years past. All these artists that were influenced by that piece of work. So you're comparing it to, oh, this person is better. But of course, but they came from this.
But they came from that. No, I say
Yeah.
this all the time because I've had this conversation like online. Like I've like gotten in Facebook jail because I get too passionate. But like when people are like, "Fuck the Beatles are overrated," and I'm like, "No, you don't
Yeah.
understand." Like in 1967, no one had heard anything like that before.
Right.
So like it's easy for us now when there's been like 10 million bands
Exactly.
that have like copied that, and that's just one example.
Right.
But it's easy now for us, to hear that now and be like, oh, whatever. But no one had heard anything before that.
Exactly.
Exactly. I don't know. I just
Yeah.
yeah, that bothers me sometimes because people are like, oh, there's so many good independent artists. Like, yeah, there are good independent artists, but you gotta give props is due. Like that, they were the first
Yeah.
innovators when it came to that type of style. So
Yeah. It Smells Like Teen Spirit is just a good song.
It's a good song. I
It's
mean,
a
I
good
don't.
song.
Yeah, it's a good song. The whole album is great.
I, yeah, I don't know. It's something as an adult, I can only listen to that album when I'm depressed. But when I went through my Kurt phase, which is when I was in like seventh grade, well, because I went to like a predominantly white school. So I was on the Kurt shit early. I got into rap. Like I'm the opposite of you. I
oh,
get into
okay.
rap
After.
like later.
Oh, I got you.
Like moving here, I moved here when I was 14, and that's when I got more into rap. But I was more of like a pop and rock and like oldies person, and I found myself getting back into pop and rock and oldies. Um, but yeah, this episode's not about me. So, um, you said you feel like artists make the best stuff when they're troubled. Is that when you make your best stuff?
I think the most troubled artists make some of the best music. Yeah, because you kind of have your lifestyle is kind of all over the place when it comes. I feel like when artists or musicians are like obsessed with their work, uh, everything else is in shambles because they can't figure out how to really balance everything out. But like if you think about like some of the best artists like Marvin Gaye, Kurt Cobain, Michael Jackson, like all these big artists, like their personal life was like a wreck almost.
Fucked up.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it just I don't know. They just feel an artist feels too much. They take from everything. They feel everything. So when they create, they make some of the best, most beautiful music. But at the same time, it's just like it comes with the bad as well because you feel everything at the same time. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah. Marvin Gaye is a great example of that.
Yeah, definitely.
I think about that a lot because I'm like, so much of his music is like cookout music, like in black culture. But I'm like, that man was so tormented.
Yeah.
Like, eh, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, his whole
But
personal life.
it was a shit show.
Yeah.
yeah, to put it in the
Rest
terms.
in power, King.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about Estamos Aquí
Okay. All right.
because when I saw you perform, I was blown away. Like I said, it made me think of Rage Against the Machine, which is a band that I hold in very high esteem. So, like, what's the story behind that song?
Well,
That one was a project that I did with the Latino Community Fund, and
Mm-hmm.
the person that they put in charge to find an artist or to reach out was Sam, and she was the one. She's the one that basically hit me up. She has Off the Record is the name of her company, and they do like projects and stuff. And she's the one who reached out to me and was like, I would like for you to write a song to get like the Latino community more involved with not just like voting, but like just everything like in society just as a whole, be more active in their communities, and just a song that empowers the Latinos in Georgia. So I was like, oh yeah, I was excited from I was like, hell, I'm down. And so so I started writing the song, and it took about 2 to 3 days. But it was pretty easy. Like it was just one of those things where I had already made music for my album that it was kind of similar already. It had Spanglish. It was talking about our struggles, things that are very personal to me in my life. So when she hit me up to make the song, I was ready. I had the beat already, and then so we shot the video maybe like a month after. We shot it in Las Americas, which is I think it's in I want to say Lilburn. It's like yeah, and we shot some stuff. I shot some of my stuff there, and then they went around and shot in different areas, and that's why you see the guy cooking the food in the restaurant, and then you see the kids skateboarding, and at the barbershop. So we were just the basically the topic of the song was just to talk about how we're everywhere. The song also
We are here.
yeah, we are here, and it was inspired also by DMX's "We Right Here" because I like that song,
Mm.
and I just like the way he sang that. So I was like, I want to make a song like that, but for us. So estamos aquí, just just to show that we are present in almost everywhere you go. There's nowhere you won't bump into us. Especially, it's important here in Georgia because um, obviously we live in a red state, in a Republican state, and there's like a lot of discrimination and there's a lot of racism. So people, say things about like, oh, we need, illegals and all this stuff without really realizing that we are the ones who are making your food. We're the ones who are, you know what I'm saying, like helping you out with construction jobs, doing your roofing, the
Hmm.
tile work. And, as of now, I mean, we still do construction labor work, but, in like 10 to 15 years, you're going to see more artists, hopefully more people doing different, just in different areas of work. So, but that was the thing about the song is like we wanted to make sure that they understood that our presence is here, like in Georgia, and you know,
Yeah. It was really touching for me, and I'm not like, I don't know. It really touched me and it really spoke to me. Like, and I'm I'm not a person like I do with my other business. Like, I do a lot of pop-ups.
mm.
There's a lot of people performing, and usually me and my husband are sitting there like looking at each other like, who who the fuck told this
Oh,
person?
damn.
Cuz like my husband is a retired music. He used to be a musician. He's
Oh, I
not
got you.
anymore. And um yeah. So like I see a lot of like bad stuff. So I just was really moved by your whole performance with that song in particular. So I just feel like that's a really powerful message to send.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, no,
And
it was a good experience. I really had a lot of fun. This is the first time I had to write a song with another person kind of like telling me what they wanted. 'Cause all the songs I write, they're just me like in my room just trying to come up with the best stuff. But when you have another person kind of looking over, not looking over you, but kind of like seeing the rough drafts and giving you like ideas of what they want, it was kind of fun to kind of like bounce off ideas and trying to get like the best possible song.
yeah.
So
Yeah. So your creative process is like usually pretty solitary,
Yeah.
or
no, yeah, definitely, it's a mess. Like I need to like be like completely alone. I need space. I actually don't like the door closed when I'm writing. I like to be like either in the living room or like I don't know. It's something, or like the energy needs to be flowing. I can't have it be stagnant. So
yeah. Yeah. That's cool. So what's next?
Right now,
now, well, right now I have shows. I have a couple of shows coming up. I have one in the September 3rd at the same place, kind of where I did where you
Mhm.
saw me at Underground Atlanta, and it's going to be for it's an event called ATL Catacombs. And I'll be performing there with other artists as well. And then on the 4th, which is the day after, which is a Sunday, September 4th, I'm doing Boiler Room, which is going to be,
Oh wow.
yeah, with Choloteca, which is like a little collective community, and they do music, and I'm excited for that too. And then on the 10th, we're having a party for the Estamos Aquí, which is going to be at the amphitheater in the old Fourth Ward. That's where they're doing it at, and it's going to be outside. So yeah, we're doing a party there. But as far as my live shows, and then the next thing for me, like I'm just working on my album, trying to finish it. That's where all my attention has been going for like the last, I want to say like a year and a half. I've been just trying to make a a solid project because my last project,
Yeah.
Superhumans, is the one I released, and that was 2 years ago. So I'm trying to release something this year, hopefully.
What have you been listening to like, or do you listen to other artists
No,
usually?
yeah, yeah.
I feel like we're gonna go back to what we just said, but I've been listening to, like I said, Voodoo is like my favorite album. So I just love that album because it just has so much soul in it, and that's kind of like I feel like it's missing in like the Chicano Mexican rap. It's like to incorporate our soul. A lot of the stuff is I don't know. It's cool, but it's there's I, I don't know. I feel like it's missing like talking about like your mom's home cooking and going back to your country and seeing your grandparents. Like it's just stuff like that that I wish more. Maybe I'm not listening to a lot of artists, but I feel like the music I want to create now, I want it to be soulful, but without sampling soul music. I don't know if that makes sense because I feel like
Mm. No, I get it.
it's like a cheap way of like, oh, I'm gonna make the soulful, so I'm gonna just make like I'm gonna put some soul music, some vocals here from an old record, and I'm gonna rap over it. I don't want to do that. I wanna. Well, I don't know if I'm saying too much, but I just want to like make sure that the music itself and what I'm saying is enough that
Yeah.
it's like its own thing. It's like
Because soulful doesn't necessarily mean you're rapping on a fucking, I don't know, Otis Redding beat.
Exactly.
It's your soul, like your experiences, your culture,
Hmm.
like you're expressing that. I haven't done the legwork, I'm gonna be honest, other than like Cypress Hill. I've never like
yeah,
I've never like listened to um like a Chicano rap group,
Yeah.
but or rappers. Um but yeah, I could imagine that that might be missing. I don't know, like why do you think that is?
I don't know. A lot of the stuff is very like a lot of the West Coast stuff. I feel like it's a lot of
Mhm.
um, it's their story. You know what I'm saying? So there's no I will never judge another person's art. That's one thing I kind of don't appreciate from other artists is when they talk bad about other artists because creatively, like if you have a problem with an artist, that's fine. But like to judge another person's music, that's their art. I can't, I'm an artist, so I should be able to understand like whatever they create, that's their outlet. That's the way they create it. But yeah, like a lot of the stuff is just it's mostly a lot of the street stuff, no, which is cool. I like listening to that. So I love Griselda and like those type of rappers. And but all of it is very angry, always tough, Mr. Tough Guy type stuff. And I feel like we need a little bit more of like some
Sensitivity.
sensitivity and just introspect, like some insight into our culture
Mhm.
and our lifestyles. And I don't know. Yeah, like I said, like the Voodoo album, just sonically, I love it because it feels like one continuous experience from the beginning to the
Yeah,
end.
it you can't skip any songs.
Yeah.
It's like if you skip, you feel like you've missed out. But have you listened to Brown Sugar, his first
No,
album?
I haven't.
That one's the same way.
I heard.
D'Angelo is like,
So I'm like a D'Angelo fan because I've reached up. So I heard that when he did Brown Sugar, though, he did demos for Brown Sugar, and then he went to the studio to record them, and then he said that once he released it, he didn't have the same feeling as the demos. So when he recorded Voodoo, those are like I guess the sessions. They're not
yeah.
necessarily transferred like from demos to professional recording. He wanted to keep that
Mhm.
demo feel on the album. That's why I don't know. It just sounds kind of like crisp. It sounds like old
It's
school.
like raw.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like Marvin Gaye
yeah,
or Prince.
yeah.
It reminds me a lot of a Marvin Gaye album or Prince album.
Yep,
But you don't meet a lot of people our age that even know about that album. So that's why I'm like, whoa, I didn't think the questions I had prepared were not about that album.
Well, I mean,
So
no,
it happens.
yeah.
Um, what is your dream concert lineup? And the reason that I asked this is because I recently saw my all-time favorite band, which is Red Hot Chili Peppers,
Oh, cool.
and I wanted to be like, because I that was my second time seeing them. The last time I saw them, I was like right by the stage, Those tickets were like pretty expensive. So I was willing to pay that price again, but this time it was like the last time I saw them I paid like almost 500. This time it was like 5,000. And I was like, I'm not paying $5,000
Okay.
to see anyone unless it's like I made a list of people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like if the tickets were $5,000, like what's a lineup that you feel is worth
Oh God.
$5,000?
Oh, $5,000 for me to watch or for me to be a part of?
You can open,
Okay.
you can be a part of it if you want.
I
Like
would just see me. I mean, let's see. Who would be a good? Oh man, that's tough. Dead or alive, or it's just
Anyone,
oh gosh.
anyone. You can say fucking Mozart.
Nah, I'm not.
Nah, because I feel like if I do that, I'm gonna take forever. Who would I like to see? See, but the thing is, like, I would have to think of what makes sense because I could just put a bunch of people. But
It doesn't have to make sense. Mine didn't make sense. I was like, I literally was like, Jesus, Stevie Wonder.
Jesus.
Yeah, I put Jesus in there. If I'm paying $5,000, Jesus, Stevie Wonder, Chili Peppers, Erica Badu,
I've always
The
dreamed
what
of.
about
Beatles.
like a punk rock and a rap lineup, like kind of
Yeah,
like how Rage and Wu Tang did that in '97, and
yeah.
that I think that seeing that live, Wu Tang in '97, Rage Against the Machine in '97, and their prime together in the same lineup, I would have just went crazy.
You know they're both performing again this year.
No.
No, Rage just did a show. They just did Lollapalooza. Wu Tang's gonna be here in September, like in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I could.
I don't know. Zach De La Rocha is just like really intense. I don't know if I can handle seeing them live.
He didn't he get hurt
I
though?
think he was doing a show and he got hurt, and I don't know. I don't. I think they.
That makes sense.
But I went to Rock the Bells like in '07 or '06, I think.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I was there, and I saw Wu Tang, and I saw Nas was there, and Immortal Technique was there. There's this underground rap group called Jedi Mind Tricks that I used to like a lot. I still like them, but I haven't seen, I haven't heard their stuff recently. But they were there. I missed them. I didn't get to see them. But there was that lineup was crazy. I think Lauryn Hill was there too. I can't remember, but it was like a big. Do you know what Rock the Bells?
Yeah, I know
Okay,
them.
I don't know. I mean, because they don't make them anymore. They don't do Rock the Bells.
Yeah, I know, but I know what it is.
Did you go to one?
No, that's why when you said
Oh,
you went, how old are you?
I was like, I don't think it was 2006. It might have been a little bit. It was, yeah, I might have been like 15, 16 at the time.
Oh, so we're like basically the same age. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like I mean, I was still listening to that stuff then, but my parents weren't gonna let me go to that kind of show when I was that age.
Yeah.
They were super strict.
My parents don't know what the hell they're saying, so they're like, I don't care. Go. If you want to go, go. I was like, all right.
So, okay, would Rage be part of the dream lineup?
I would definitely have Rage. I would have.
I would have Rage.
Okay, I'm gonna mix it up between rock and soul music. I'll have Rage,
Okay.
and then have like a little interlude with I've never seen Lauryn Hill live. I would like to see her live.
Is she gonna show up?
Let's say in a perfect world, in the most perfect lineup, she's there on time.
Okay.
And so I would put Lauren. I would want to see. I want to see Nas live. See, both of them are really notorious for being bad late at their shows. But I would want to see Nas and distant relatives. I would say Damien and Nas together. So
Oh my God,
yeah, that
yes.
would be fire. That would be Rage Against the Machine, Lauryn Hill, Distant Relatives, which is I'm putting them together. Nas and Damien. There's this band from UK called Idols. I don't know if you heard of them. They are amazing. Idols. I want to see them live. But they would be in there, and then I would close it with a crazy. Oh, did I say Rage already? I did, right?
Yeah.
I would
You
close.
started with them.
Okay, so I
You
want.
would open with Rage? A lot of people would leave after a Rage
Yeah,
concert.
yeah.
Yeah.
So put him at the end. I'm just trying to think of one more. I need one rap act though.
Griselda.
Why not? I'll put Griselda.
Okay.
You seem dissatisfied.
Okay.
You're like, I'm trying to think of who though.
Because I would switch it. I would have Griselda open
Griselda open.
and Rage Against the
No, no, yeah,
Machine
definitely,
close.
definitely, no, yeah, 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 yeah. No, I wouldn't have Rage open. I would have Griselda open. This is never happening, and we're having like a debate.
No, I know. I know. This is the kind of stuff I think about. I think it annoys Kevin because it'll be like 1 a.m. and I'll be like, who's better? Aretha Franklin
Oh, I know who. I know who. I know who. I know who. I
or
forgot.
Led Zeppelin? And he'll just look at me like, go to sleep. Like, why are you
I,
talking
I
to me?
forgot two people.
Okay, this would have to be a festival because there's too many people. But I would also
Okay.
put, and I've seen him live, so I would put him in the lineup just because I love him. Mac DeMarco, you heard Mac DeMarco.
Yeah.
Mac DeMarco is in there, and then the other person that I would put as like a little experimental. Well, not. Yeah, I guess you would be York. I would like to see her live too.
Oh, you like Bjork?
I'm just naming old people. Like these are just like.
No, Bjork to me is like I don't get it.
Ugh.
Like I don't get it. I saw a meme one time that was like Bjork be like, and it was like this girl, she was like, if the chicken crossed the road. And I was
Nah.
like, yeah. I just don't I think it's like, you know, when you look at like a painting and you're like, I don't know what's going on here, but I know it's good.
Mm,
Like
mm.
that's how I feel about Bjork. Like I don't get it, but I know it's good.
Oh, I get. I think.
Maybe her. I guess her tone of voice is weird.
Yeah, cuz she has written songs for Madonna on this
Mm,
album called Bedtime Stories.
mm,
And like I love those songs. So I'm like maybe it is her voice
yeah. But
I don't.
or the fact that she's always assaulting people. She's always like
Oh
punching
yes, that
photographers and stuff.
photographer. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Her music just again. That's another artist where a lot of like these indie artists now kind of got inspiration from. So I don't know. I
Yeah.
like her music. And, I don't know if you heard of Army of Me. That sounds crazy. It's a dope song. Possibly Maybe is another one. Bachelorette is a crazy song. I don't know. I'm just naming songs that.
I know Army of Me.
Yeah.
I know that song.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm always saying like I'm gonna get into Bjork, but then I listen to it. I'm just like I don't get it.
no, I feel. No, I mean,
It's not for. I mean, if you're not feeling it, you don't feel it. Like I just an artist that I definitely don't. I don't get it, but
Name one.
I don't know.
put me on the
No,
spot.
it's fine because I interviewed a singer years ago, and I was like, it was when that King of R&B debate was going on, and I was like, "Who's the King of R&B?" And she's like, "I don't want to say." And I was like, "Okay." It was like a weird silence because I was like, "All right."
No, but that's fine.
Fine, you can say who you think the king of R&B is.
She didn't want to.
That's fine because that's like a
Positive. That's like a good thing. Like, oh yeah. But saying I don't get someone, and I don't know. It's just like I don't know. I mean, you already did it, but I don't want
Yeah,
to.
that's what I'm like. Damn, I wasn't trying to be Bjork. If you ever hear this, I love your work with Madonna, but your other stuff, I just don't get it.
Yeah.
It's again, it sounds, it's like sonically beautiful, but I just don't get it. I don't know how else to explain it.
mm. Yeah. If
If you
you
listen to enough songs, I bet you there's one song you'll like. You'll be like, oh, okay, I like this. 'Cause
I'm gonna
there's
challenge
a
myself.
variety of good songs that she has. Like, they're different. That's one thing about her. They're different.
So she'd close the show.
no, she'll be like
She'd
a.
have to
No, she'll
close.
be like a little intermission because I like the shows to start out like I don't know because I used to put the shows together when I had my friends and I would be like okay this person needs to go here because they're more chill with their music This person's hype.
Oh yeah.
So you
Okay.
want when a person goes to a show, I personally feel like they should it should be like a journey. It's almost like a movie. It's like okay, and then there's like a big a problematic situation, and it goes back down, and then again there's another one. So like with shows, I try to do the same thing. So you want the show to start out great, so you might want to put a little bit hype in the beginning, and then have somebody in the middle that kind of like either a singer change the mood, and then bring it up again with another crazy artist or hyped artist, and then if you want to close
Yeah,
it out mellow.
I had a friend tell me that recently, because he was like, he is like a rock musician, and he was like, when he used to be in a band, he was like, you can't start off slow.
Mm,
Like that was his rule when they would tour. Like he'd be like, you can't ever start off with your slow songs,
exactly.
because once you try to like build up, the audience is like, well, no, we were relaxing, and now you're
Yeah.
No, definitely. I do that too. When I start my set, I try to make sure that I start out with something that will catch your attention. Because, you know, once nobody knows who you are, so they're like, if you don't start out with like super hyped or getting their attention, you'll lose them. They'll not pay attention. But if you start out with something heavy hitting in the beginning, and it's just like I don't know, they'll listen and they'll stick around, and then the next song is.
yeah.
But if your stuff is like if one after another is always hype and hype and hype, the person's gonna be like, yo, I need a break. I need to disconnect for a little bit.
I definitely, that's how I felt when I saw you. Like it was like immediately like a whoa, like okay. Like he's saying something. It's not just like he has something to say. But my feelings about like I'm intimidated to see Rage live, because I feel like it would just be like really intense, and I would just be like, ugh,
What's
it makes
what's
me
what?
Can I ask you
jittery.
what's your favorite Ray song?
Maria, do you know that song?
Oh, is that the one?
Is that the cover album they did? The
That
Renegade?
no, that's the album. I think it's called The Battle of Los Angeles.
Battle of Los Angeles. That's the last album.
Like on the cover there's somebody like this.
Yeah,
It's like a
spray paint.
sketch.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I like Maria. On the cover album they did, I like the version of Microphone Fiend
Mm,
um
Yeah.
that they did from Eric B and Rakim.
yeah, yeah, I remember.
What's yours?
That's tough.
I would probably say Wake Up.
Yeah. I like that one too.
That
That song is just crazy. It's just nuts the way it starts. Tom Morello
I
too.
like Testify too. Tom Morello is one of the goats.
he's crazy. The way he.
He DJ scratches his guitar.
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
I've ever seen nobody do that.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, yeah. Wake Up and Testify is good. Sleep Now in the Fire is good.
Mhm.
Um,
You gotta listen. Your music reminds me a lot of the song Maria.
I gotta listen to that now.
I forgot how
I'll
it
send
went.
it to you.
I forgot how it goes.
I'll send it to you. But yeah, let's see. I don't really have any more questions. Like, where can the people find you? Like, and
Uh,
don't say on the block, because the last time I interviewed a rapper and was like, where can the people find you?
oh
He
yeah, where
was
you
like
gonna
on the
name?
block.
So Rapper Hands is taken because Rapper Hands was. I was hoping because my friends all they joke. They're constantly roasting me about Rapper Hands. They're like, yeah, your rap hands were like immaculate this performance, but they're like busting. Obviously, they're just
Oh, like rapping hands
yeah,
like
yeah.
this.
Because I be doing this a lot.
Oh. No, that was because my friend Tyler, because I was like, I'm not a rap. I am a writer. Like, I write prose. Like, I write like stories. But on the episode,
Oh,
my friend Tyler was like, "You have rapper hands. Like, if you wanted to, you could write." He wasn't talking about like.
oh.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, you do. Look, you
yeah,
do
yeah.
have
I've
like
been doing
good
this a
rapper
lot.
hands.
But Spotify. I got a YouTube. Victor Mariachi is my handle. That's on Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Apple Music, and yeah, I just released Estamos Aquí, which is my latest music video that I did with
Which is dope,
Samantha.
by the way.
Thank you. And then also On the Roof, which is another song that I released, video that I just did in May. But yeah, you can find me Victor Mariachi on everything. Uh, I do TikTok sometimes. I know it's horrible, but I use it for promotion. I have to. You got to use the TikTok. They're good. They help you.
You have to. It's fucking. I didn't want to do
Me, me
video,
neither.
but they're like, you got to do video
Oh, for
if you
this.
wanna if you want it, your podcast to be a thing. My engineer just gestured towards himself. I think he wants the credit. Okay, Steven, it was you.
Yeah, there you go.
He's like, say my name.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's giving Destiny's Child.
yeah. And the
But
wire.
yeah, no.
Yeah,
So your TikTok is Victor
and
Mariachi
Victor
too?
Mariachi as well. Yeah,
Okay. Is your real name Victor?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Obviously your last name's not
No,
Mariachi.
and that's kind of
I'm surprised you say that because even people who are Latino or Hispanic, they tell me, "Is Mariachi your real last name?"
Why
They,
would that be someone's last name? That's a
I don't
genre of
know.
music.
I don't know. They really think that's my last name. I'm like, no, you should know better. You,
Yeah,
yeah,
no, like
yeah.
no.
Nah, it's not.
No.
No,
You don't have to share your last name
no,
here.
I probably won't.
It's
It's
fine.
my alias, Victor
It's fine.
Mariachi. So, yeah.
And I can always title this too, like Rapper Hands Part
no,
2.
no. You don't.
No,
Yeah.
no, that's theirs. I want my own title. I want my own title now.
Okay, bet.
Yeah.
Okay, so you told us where to find you. We've gone on a journey. Is there any mental health advice you want to give people?
Oh man, that's a,
Heavy question to close out with.
I know, right?
Mental health. Oh. Hmm. I gotta think about this for a second. Just, um, I think, well, it just depends because everybody's going through their own. I think also COVID kind of like intensified everything, like the
Yeah.
lockdown. Um, but I find that for me personally, I can only talk about my experience. Like when
Hmm.
I was young, I did go to therapy. Like I had to go to therapy. I think my high school told my parents like your child is depressed, you need to go to therapy. Well, my parents,
Same.
oh, really?
Yeah.
So my family, we don't, it's
You don't believe in
well, no,
therapy.
it's not that they don't believe in it, but it's just to us, it's like, what are you depressed about? We came from another country. You have all the opportunities here. You should be happy.
Yeah. My dad used to literally flip the light switch. Like I'd be like, I'm depressed. He'd be like, flip the light switch. Like, but you got electricity. You got running water. I'm like, the fuck does that have to do with anything? My
Yeah.
brain's not producing the happy chemicals.
yeah. I
I
think
think for me, like, so going to therapy was a big first step. I think you need to do that just because you need to kind of empty out everything that you have mentally that
Hmm.
might be bothering you. It's just good to just not hold that all that stuff in and find someone that you feel comfortable to share what bothers you, the things that upset you. Once you get to that point, I feel like a person should develop tools within themselves to be self sufficient because at the end of the day, like you could talk to your friends, you could find exterior ways of kind of coping with whatever's bothering you. But at the same time, it's like there's gonna be times where you're gonna be by yourself. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta be able to create. I wouldn't say create happiness, but create a sense of peacefulness and just being like, okay,
Hmm.
things are not that bad. And you got to have a center almost. Like you have to be like, whatever's happening in my life right now is momentarily. You got to remember that. Like everything is just, life is, there's going to be ups and downs and I have to hold on to the ride. Like it's like, a roller coaster. Like you see the fucking, oh, like we're about to go up and we got to go down and you feel it coming. But if you wait and just let it happen, you're good. So I would say that. And then I started like exercising just a little bit, just so I wasn't stagnant, not like in my own, um, I guess, because I'm an overthinker. I think a lot, so and that could be a bad thing. Cause
All creative people are.
yeah, so I needed something to kind of like not think about anything for a minute, and just work out and just do that, come back re-energized. And so I would say just look for what helps you. Try to intuitively. I feel like we all have something that guides us. Like I need to do this more. I need to go out to the sun. I need to, talk to someone. I need to not talk to someone for a minute and just be by myself. So, and I don't know. I don't know if that answers the question because
No, it totally
yeah.
does. It totally does. Cuz for me, like, my thing is just like watching something really stupid. Like if I watch Wayne's World or Clueless or Friday, like I'll feel better. I'll
Oh,
feel better.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I do that.
That like that's a big thing for me too. Is just like watching something dumb that takes me out of my head, because locking in to like write a book, and like even like some of my interviews get really deep and really personal, and I will like take on shit that's not necessary. I hope you don't mind my cursing, but
Mm,
take on things that aren't necessarily mine, and I'll like walk away feeling like, oh my god, like and
yeah.
it's like a terrible feeling when I'm dealing with my own stuff. So my one of my biggest coping tools is just being stupid. Like just being stupid.
Or just having fun, I guess. Just,
Yeah, I guess that's a better way to say it. Like sorry.
yeah, yeah. But I think it's
Yeah.
also being conscious that, um, just being conscious or just aware that this is how life is. Like I know,
Yeah.
like this certain thing, like it's gonna be okay. Like no matter what, like I'm gonna be fine. I just have to like, that's the thing. Like when you're a kid in high school, like you don't have that the ability to be like, I'm gonna be able to look at this later and be like, that was
And be
insignificant.
like, it didn't
It didn't
matter.
matter. It was.
Because you're not, one of my closest friends uses this expression. It's like, you're not done cooking yet. Like, literally, you're not done cooking. So it's things that happen at that time. Or even past being a teenager, it's like, even it's like, um, putting things into perspective and being like, this is not the end of the world. It feels like the end of the world.
Right.
For me, a lot of times I have to get to the root of things. For example, today, like it's like I was like, oh my god, the set is falling apart. Like,
Mm.
how are we gonna do this? Like, oh my god, but it's like we got it done. It's just
Yeah,
a
and
matter
I
of
think a lot of it
patience.
too is come like you have to be in the present moment. Like try to be aware
Mm-hmm.
because one quick example, like when I do a show, like for instance that show I did where you were there, the mic and stuff was not really working that well, and before I would have been like devastated after like a show like that. I would have been like, oh my god, like that was horrible. And I would think about it, and I would get down. I'm talking about like I would be like almost depressed, like on the bed, like damn, because to me,
Yeah.
my music means so much to me. So if I have a bad show, but what helped me was kind of to like it already passed. There's no need for you to go and relive it mentally and torture yourself. And I think a lot of it has to do with us constantly torturing ourselves with what happened, what could have been, what's coming, and it's like all that anxiety comes from. That's where anxiety comes from. It's from the things that you think are going to happen that haven't happened
Yeah.
yet, and
Yeah.
it crushes us. It kind of it immobilizes you. You feel stuck.
That's what I was gonna say. It's like it almost. I talked about this on my last episode, streaming everywhere. Like it almost like paralyzes
Yeah,
you because you're like,
yeah, yeah.
I've been in situations where I'm like, but what if? I mean, I did it when we were preparing for this. I was like, but what if it happens to where he can't? It says the file is too big and he can't send it. But it's like, I have to remind myself all the time to like center myself. I used to. I've fallen out of this habit, but this is like good advice. No one gave this to me. Shout out to me. It's not. I didn't reinvent the wheel. It's not like super original, but I used to every day list 10 things that I was grateful for.
That's very important. That's a good one.
And that would help me a lot. I have this bracelet I never take off that says gratitude. But I used to do that every single day. And sometimes it would be like I would just all I could say was I'm alive. I have a car. I have a cell phone that's on. Like sometimes it would be like, I didn't have a whole lot in that time that I could see, but just doing that allowed me to like take myself out of my head.
Definitely.
But yeah, so yeah, like you've plugged everything, we've
Yeah.
unpacked. Your homework is to listen to Maria by
Yeah.
Raging Against the
And
Machine.
yours is to listen to New York.
Okay. And I'm going to send you Maria. You got to send me
All right,
Bjork.
I'll send from New York too.
Um, I close out every show with stay on top of your mental health and don't take any wooden nickels. This is the first video episode we've ever done. I was so fucking
Amazing.
scared. But I have my husband, my videographer, Jordan, my engineer, Steven,
Y'all are
and
amazing.
then and me. Thank you so much. You're amazing.
Y'all are
You
amazing.
are you are a messenger. I feel I'm not even joking. I feel like you have like a really important message, and that's why like I'm truly honored that you shared this time with
Oh,
me.
thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you for having me. This was fun.
Yeah, it was a fucking mess at the beginning, but we figured it out.
We got it though. Smooth
Yeah.
landing.
All right. Estamos
Estamos
aquí.
aquí. Out now.
Okay.